Whoever was cutting onions at my showing of this movie, just turn yourself in. I've already reported you. There's no other reason my eyes would have been watery. No. The Sheep Detectives is a brand new 2026 murder mystery directed by Kyle Balda. He's given us a few of the Minion movies and a couple other kids' movies here and there, so he definitely knows what he's doing in the genre. And this film stars Hugh Jackman, Emma Thompson, Bryan Cranston, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Nicholas Braun, Molly Gordon, and a lot of other actors I'm not going to name, but you can hear their voices and see them in the movie, and they're great. I'm gonna be honest, this movie wasn't one I was expecting to watch. I wasn't expecting to see it or review it, but here we are. It's the word of mouth that got me. Everyone that I know who likes movies said, "Oh, it's such a good time. It's full of heart. It'll make you cry." And I agree. I concur. It is definitely a great time. It's full of heart, and it's gonna make you cry, or at least sweat from your eyes, how it did for me. Yeah, no, I wasn't expecting to like this movie so much. It centers around a group of sheep who are investigating the murder of their shepherd, played by Hugh Jackman. And we have a group of sheep. We'll be focused on Lily, voiced by Julie Louis Dreyfus, and Sebastian, voiced by Bryan Cranston. And they're the ones kind of leading the investigation towards the murder. They're looking at the small town that he lived next to and the group of characters that they suspect might have done it. You know, their usual suspects. In terms of a murder mystery, it is super easy to solve and it's kind of by the books. The clues give it away and they're pretty obvious. So you're not going to go to watch this for the mystery itself. You're going to go to, it's not Seven and it's not, Chinatown, but it's a good murder mystery for kids to start off with. I think that this movie carries so many lessons that are important for kids to learn. And I love when a kids movie does that. It doesn't dumb down ideas or dialogue for the sake of the children. And instead it, pushes them and to confront these ideas, these topics that might be a little bit uncomfortable, depending on the age. We're delving into topics like a loss, death, the death of a loved one, why it's important that we keep them in our memory even though it hurts. You don't expect to get this out of a kids movie, at least not nowadays. This year we got the Mario movie, and you didn't get any serious topics there. You just got a bunch of dumb fun that you're probably going to see on TikTok in clips. That's exactly what we don't need in kids movies. You don't get kids movies like you did when I was a kid. Not to sound like a boomer, but you don't get movies like The Lion King, The Jungle Book, The Iron Giant, movies that taught you lessons and showed you stuff that you might have not known at the age of 6 or 7. And that's what you get with Sheep Detectives. That's where the heart is. The heart is in these characters, how they care about each other, how they're confronting these things, along with the children and the great lessons that you can take away from it. Yeah, you're not going to watch this for the murder part. The murder mystery is, like I said, by the books, by the easy to get to the conclusion. But you're watching it for the heart, and you're watching it for the entertainment factor. This movie is so entertaining. I think that based in it's based in reality, so the audience can see the sheep talk. Obviously, we can hear their voices and their thoughts, and we see their actions, but to the point of view of the characters in the movie, you're just watching the ship go bad, and then showing up at like random times when the big reveal is going to happen for the mystery. We'll have this like we have Nicholas Braun playing the dumb cop in the small town that's trying to solve the mystery, but he's not very good at it, and so he'll get a clue from the sheep, and it'll like you know, push him to figure it out. And then once he makes the realization, he's looking at the clue. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he looks off into the distance, and he sees 4 sheep just staring at him point blank because they're the ones who dropped off the evidence. And that's so funny. That's so dumb. We'll see them do dumb things for the sake of the plot that pushes the story forward and kind of, pushes the clues towards the main characters that it should get to. Um, and that's super entertaining. Yeah, it's a good time. I think even if you don't have children, you'll have a good time with this. In my movie theater, I had a couple of retired couples and couples, in their middle age, watch this movie and join, you know, join along in the fun as much as everybody else that did have kids or didn't have kids. I don't think this is a movie necessarily just for kids, but it's a great movie for kids to watch. It is targeted at them, but it's not just for them. I think you'll definitely enjoy this if you like films like the ones I mentioned, like The Lion King. It's not animated, but it's a kids movie that's not just for kids. And those are my favorite kinds of movies. I didn't expect to like this one so much, and I didn't expect it to be like one of the best movies of the year so far. But here we are. This was a big surprise. So I definitely recommend going to see it in theaters. If you miss it in theaters, put it on streaming, put it on for your kids, or just watch it for a fun time. Um, in the weekend where you have Mortal Kombat 2 and you have the Sheep Detectives, everyone you have two great movies at at the theater this weekend. That's awesome. Like if you have a teenager or you're single and you want to go have an awesome time with blood and gore and fight, you have Mortal Kombat 2. But if you have kids and you want kind of like a softer, calmer movie, uh, you're gonna have a good time with the Sheep Detectives. Yeah, great weekend for film. Two fun movies. Uh, do it as a double feature. I did it as a double feature and it was great. Two very different tones. Great movies all around. So yeah, that's it for Sheep Detectives. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.